Have you ever noticed how everything just feels better when the weather's nice? The sun's out, the sky is clear, and we are motivated. You're feeling hopeful, maybe even bold, and all of a sudden, the clouds roll in, traffic hits, someone sends a passive-aggressive text, you know the ones, and suddenly your whole mood shifts. That used to be me, and at times it still is. I wasn't just emotional, I was untrained in a way. I didn't know how to protect my internal climate from the chaos of the external world. So with that, I was at the mercy of my circumstances. If things were good, I was good. If things weren't, I unraveled. Then I read a line that changed me forever. Proactive people carry their weather with them. That's from Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And upon reading it, I realized if I kept living this way, I would never be in charge of my peace, because I'd always be waiting for life to calm down so I could finally feel okay. Our next 3 lessons are going to be based around the concept of our attitudes. So if you're someone who's tired of being tossed around by others' moods, circumstances, or chaos, you're in the right place. And this one isn't about controlling your environment. It's about controlling your energy. And as we get started, I submit this to you. The most unshakable people in the world didn't get there by escaping stress. They got there by strengthening their inner weather system. Let's start with what most people do. They live by their reaction. Traffic ruins their mood. One comment from someone sets off their entire day. A disappointing email steals their energy. And what's funny is it's not always dramatic, it's subtle. It's what I like to call death by distraction. If you have to wait for the sun to shine in order to feel joy, you'll be stuck in the forecast forever. So I ask you, what external things are you allowing to control your internal world? What situations, opinions, or conditions are dictating your peace day by day? Is your confidence only intact when people validate you? Do you second guess yourself the moment someone disagrees with you? Many are only as focused as their last good day. But the truth is, that's not freedom. That is emotional survival mode, and there's no way to build a meaningful life. Awareness is the first step. The first step to any transformation is awareness. So I challenge you to take some time to consider, what are your most common emotional triggers? Where do you tend to lose your peace the fastest? Your awareness is your power. There's a difference between being reactive and proactive. And one of the best ways I've heard this explained is reactive people are thermometers. They reflect the environment, while proactive people are thermostats. They set the temperature of their environment. So let's break that down. A thermometer waits. It doesn't decide, it reacts. The thermostat leads. It decides in advance, this is the energy that I'm going to bring today. And is it possible that we don't need motivation? Rather, we need internal leadership. Reactive people live on default. Proactive people live on design. Let's make this practical. A life by default reacts to stress. A life by design prepares for it. A life by default takes everything personally. A life by design filters it wisely. A life by default absorbs drama, but a life by design protects peace. So imagine you wake up tomorrow and declare your inner weather forecast before the world does. You say, today I'm choosing to be grounded. Today I'm showing up as focused, no matter the noise around me. When we're talking about a life by design, we have to realize that most people have never articulated the emotional climate that they want to live in daily. They just take it as it comes. So take a minute and consider it. What do you want your emotional climate to be? Peace? Focus? Steadiness? Maybe strength? Start there and then make a decision to walk it out. Ask yourself every morning, What would the best version of myself do today? How would they handle interruptions? How would they handle setbacks and disappointments that might come up? Now, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that I hadn't trained myself properly, which leads to the question, how does one train their inner weather system? How do you build that emotional consistency? You train it like a muscle, strength over time. 3 ways that have helped me. Number 1, morning rituals. If you don't start the day on purpose, the world will start it for you. So with that, create rituals that set your emotional tone. For some, it might mean meditation. For some, it might mean gratitude journaling or reading truth before reading a text. Don't get caught up in the amount of time required, because the truth is, even 10 minutes of focused intention can completely rewire your day, especially if it's already more than what you're currently doing. So don't underestimate it. Number 2, pause before reacting. One of the hardest lessons for me to learn was that I don't have to attend every emotional storm that I am invited to. The pause is where the power lies. And sometimes when you get that invitation to a storm, you just have to pause, breathe deeply before responding, and ask yourself, what outcome do I want here? Choose the energy first. And then once you choose the energy, your words will flow from having the right energy. Number 3, have an anchor. Build a 3-part system to pull you back when life hits. Maybe it looks like stepping outside to ground yourself when people are getting on your nerves. Maybe it looks like taking that walk and saying over and over again, my peace is my power, my peace is my power, my peace is my power. Maybe it's texting an accountability partner that you know will help with recalibrating your mind. It is important that you do not live your life like a leaf in the wind. Live like something that is rooted in the storm. Your anchors can also be visual. Little post-it notes on your mirror. Maybe one that says, I'm not moved by storms, I bring the calm. Whatever it is, it's important that you build habits that anchor your weather. And when you build these habits, life doesn't get easier, but you get stronger. Let's talk about a storm that shakes most people: the opinions of others. Here's the truth. What people do is rarely about you. The things they say, how they treat you, the decisions they make, they are rarely about you. It's about them. But when we take everything personally, we adopt someone else's bad day as our own. I remember a time when my boss came in and criticized something that I had done. Didn't really give me any parameters, so I just did the best with what I had. Came in, was a little spicy. Y'all know about spice. Some of y'all are a little spicy. And it was almost like dude didn't even say good morning. He just came in, wrong, 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 wrong. Hey, I spent time and energy towards this. So after he tore down everything I did, I left and kind of spiraled. I internalized it. I started doubting whether or not I was any good at this. He came back later and apologized and said, you know what? I had just gotten off the phone and had a huge argument with my wife, and I shot you with a stray bullet. You know what a stray is? Sometimes you hit with a stray. It's where someone is mad about something else, but somehow you get the hit. He said, the work that you've done here is good, but here is how we can make it better. So his reaction to what I had done actually had nothing to do with me. And this is the importance of being anchored and being steady and not living for the applause of men. Because I have learned that if I do not live for your applause, I will never die by your criticism. So are you currently personalizing something that isn't yours to carry? The next time you get a reaction that seems disproportioned, ask yourself, is this actually about me? Or am I about to hold and internalize what isn't mine? Because carrying your own weather means you don't borrow storms that aren't yours. And here's what nobody really talks about. Praise and criticism are both weather forecasts. They are both temporary. They're both unreliable. But when you carry your own weather, you don't need validation to move. You don't crumble when misunderstood. Because if you're going to do anything in life that is impactful, you're going to be misunderstood. You stop being a puppet and you start focusing on becoming a producer. And when it comes to the opinions of others, here's the mindset shift that I offer you. Whether it be praise or criticism, external opinions are information, not identity. So who have you been given too much emotional power to? And what would change if you began to snatch it back? Don't just reclaim your time and your schedule, reclaim your emotional authority as well. You were never meant to be a puppet. You were meant to lead your emotional world. As I bring this home, I want you to remember, you weren't made to live in emotional survival mode. You weren't made to react your way through life. You were made to set intention and carry your own weather. What would change if your peace stopped depending on other people? What would change if your peace started depending on your choices and your decisions? Because you don't have to wait for the sun to shine to have peace. And I'm gonna put it to you like this. You are the sun. And when you decide to rise, everything changes. If you enjoyed this video, drop in the comments, I am carrying my own weather. As mentioned, we're in an attitude series, so join us on the next lesson as we talk about how to not be deceived by disappointment. Always remember that growth is a journey, it's not a destination. I'm in it with you, and I'll see you on the next one.